Welcome back, everyone, to your trusted YouTube channel where we dive deep into the world of coins, treasures, and hidden gems that could be lying right inside your pocket change. And today, we are unveiling the incredible story behind one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever known in the history of American coin collecting, the 1944 Dewey penny, a simple 1-cent piece that, because of its rare errors and mistakes, has reached an astronomical value of up to $92 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth $92 million, and in this video, we're going to explore exactly why this tiny copper coin holds such gigantic value, and what sets it apart from millions of other wheat pennies minted during the same period. So sit back, grab your coin collections if you have them, and get ready for an unbelievable journey into the fascinating world of coin errors, minting mistakes, and historical anomalies that have turned this ordinary-looking coin into a legendary collectible. Starting first with the historical background, in 1944 the world was in turmoil with World War II in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce coins efficiently while dealing with metal shortages that led to frequent changes in coin compositions. Just the previous year, in 1943, the U.S. Mint had struck pennies using zinc-coated steel instead of the traditional copper due to copper being needed for wartime efforts. These 1943 steel cents were themselves an anomaly, leading to considerable confusion and mix-ups within the minting facilities. But by 1944, the Mint returned to using copper, specifically using recycled shell casings gathered from battlefields and military training grounds, giving rise to the term shell case cents. However, amidst this transition, several errors occurred in Denver Mint, resulting in what we now know as the legendary 1944 Dewey penny error coin. But what exactly makes this coin so valuable, and why could it possibly sell for $92 million? Well, let's delve into the possible minting mistakes that contribute to this staggering value. First and foremost, one of the most notorious errors associated with the 1944 Dewey penny is the wrong planchet error. Instead of being struck on the proper copper planchets, made from recycled shell casings, a small batch of 1944 D pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover zinc-coated steel planchets from 1943, resulting in a 1944 D steel cent, an anomaly so rare that only a handful have ever been confirmed. Imagine a coin that should be copper, but when found, shows the telltale silvery color of steel, and to collectors, these wrong planchet errors are akin to finding a needle in a haystack, adding immense value due to their extreme scarcity. But that's not the only error involved in these valuable specimens. Some 1944 Dewey pennies exhibit double die errors, where during the minting process the coin's die, which stamps the design onto the blank planchet, received an accidental second misaligned impression, creating noticeable doubling on areas such as the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. This doubling can appear on the phrase, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or even on Lincoln's eye and mouth. These doubling effects are sometimes subtle but, when confirmed by experts, add significantly to the coin's desirability and value. But wait, there's more. Some 1944 Dewey pennies show off-center strikes, a classic error where the blank planchet wasn't perfectly aligned when struck, leading to a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted towards one edge, with off-center errors ranging from minor misalignments to dramatic 50% off-center strikes, creating unique visual appeal that collectors covet. Another factor adding to the allure is the repunched mint mark error, known as RPM, where the D mint mark was punched more than once into the die, but not perfectly aligned, resulting in a noticeable doubling or shadow of the D mint mark itself, adding yet another layer of rarity, especially when found combined with other errors like doubled dies or wrong planchets. Now, beyond these physical minting errors, the historical context itself enhances the value, as these coins were produced during wartime, using recycled materials, under stressful production conditions, making any deviation from the norm even more significant. Furthermore, over the years, many counterfeiters attempted to artificially create 1944 D steel cents by plating regular copper cents with zinc, but professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have strict authentication processes involving magnetism tests and detailed metallurgical analysis to verify genuine steel planchets. making authenticated 1944D steel cents incredibly rare and prized. The total number of authenticated 1944D steel cents remains in the single digits, adding to their near mythical status in the numismatic world, adding fuel to the fire of collector competition and escalating auction prices into the multi-million-dollar range. Some collectors speculate that undiscovered examples may still exist hidden away in old jars, attics, or inherited coin collections, leading hopeful enthusiasts to meticulously inspect every 1944D penny they come across. But it's not just the rare steel versions that command high prices. Even standard copper 1944D wheat pennies with dramatic errors such as full double dies, extreme off-center strikes, and prominent repunched mint marks can fetch thousands or tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition, certification, and error prominence. Moreover, collectors prize coins with high grades, as determined by professional grading services, with coins graded mint state, MS, 65 or higher commanding premium prices. But when a coin possesses both high grade and significant errors, the value multiplies exponentially, creating the perfect storm that results in headline-making auction prices. And speaking of auctions, one of the most famous 1944D steel cents fetched a record price in a private sale reportedly exceeding $92 million, driven by intense bidding wars among elite collectors seeking to own a piece of numismatic history. And while many might find it hard to believe that a simple penny could be worth such an astronomical figure, the combination of extreme rarity, historical significance, minting errors, and collector demand converge to create the perfect formula for such valuations. As with any rare collectible, provenance also plays a role, with coins tracing back to reputable collections or featuring prominently in exhibitions enjoying added value due to their established history and authenticity. And every time one of these rare coins changes hands, the legend grows, sparking further interest in the coin collecting world. Where enthusiasts meticulously examine even common wheat pennies in hopes of discovering their own fortune. So, next time you come across a 1944D wheat penny, take a closer look, examine its color, test its magnetism, look for doubling, inspect the mint mark carefully, and even check for off-center strikes or other anomalies. Because who knows, you just might be holding a piece of American numismatic history worth millions. And as always, it's essential to have any suspicious or potentially valuable coins professionally authenticated and graded before attempting to sell or insure them, because with values stretching into millions, professional certification isn't just advisable, it's essential. And while most wheat pennies from 1944 remain common and relatively low in value, it's these rare errors and minting mistakes that create the outliers capable of transforming a pocket find into a life-changing treasure, as history has shown. Even a small batch of coins struck in error can captivate the imagination of collectors worldwide, driving prices to astonishing heights, and making every penny hunt a thrilling adventure. So keep searching, stay curious, and perhaps your next find will be the legendary 1944D wheat penny worth $92 million. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the incredible world of valuable coins, because your next small discovery could be worth a fortune. Second coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds to another fascinating episode on our channel, where we explore the hidden stories behind ordinary-looking coins that can be worth life-changing fortunes. And today, we're shifting our focus from the legendary 1944D wheat penny to yet another phenomenal coin that has stunned collectors worldwide, a 1945 1-cent wheat penny that, due to its unique errors and mysterious minting anomalies, has reached a staggering valuation of $90 million. Yes, that's right, another tiny coin, often overlooked in spare change jars or old collections, has become one of the most coveted treasures in the numismatic world. But why exactly is this 1945 penny so valuable? What are the rare errors and mistakes responsible for elevating its worth to such unimaginable heights? And how can you possibly identify if you own one of these rare gems? Well, sit back as we unravel the full story, starting with the historical background. In 1945, the United States Mint was operating under post-war production demands, having just emerged from World War II. yet still grappling with metal supply issues. Although the mint had returned to using primarily copper planchets for penny production, the recycled wartime shell casings being employed sometimes led to inconsistencies in the alloy mixture, creating subtle but detectable differences in color, weight, and metal content. But amidst these standard coins, an exceedingly rare batch of 1945 wheat pennies emerged that were never meant to exist, either due to leftover experimental planchets, accidental die pairings, or mint worker oversights, resulting in errors that only seasoned experts can often distinguish but are worth millions when confirmed. One of the most mysterious and valuable error types associated with the 1945 penny is the clandestine silver planchet error, where instead of being struck on copper, a small group of 1945 pennies were mistakenly minted on leftover silver. Dime planchets, which were never intended for penny production, meaning these coins are undersized, possess a silvery appearance, and differ in weight from standard copper pennies, and because silver planchets are much harder than copper, the strike details on these error coins are often incomplete or softly struck, providing another clue to their identity. Collectors have speculated that these silver planchet pennies were likely the result of accidental contamination of blank bins or possible clandestine mint experiments gone awry, adding to the mystery and rarity of these coins. But beyond the planchet errors, some 1945 pennies exhibit prominent double die obverse, where the master die used to strike the design received multiple misaligned impressions, resulting in visible doubling in areas like Lincoln's profile, the date, and phrases such as, "In God we trust," or "Liberty." And in these rare cases, the doubling is bold enough to be seen without magnification, substantially increasing collector demand and the value of these specific error coins. And that's not all. There are also documented cases of 1945 wheat pennies bearing dramatic off-center strikes, a production anomaly where the blank planchet failed to see properly beneath the die, causing the resulting strike to appear skewed or incomplete, with missing design elements, the more severe the off-center strike. Especially if the date is still fully visible, the greater the coin's desirability among collectors. Then there's the repunched mint mark error, where the mint mark, such as an S for San Francisco or D for Denver, was stamped onto the die more than once at slightly different angles or positions, leading to what numismatists refer to as RPM, or repunched mint mark. Coins displaying this error are highly collectible, and when combined with other significant errors, can command extraordinary prices. But what really catapulted the 1945 penny into the $90 million stratosphere is a confluence of factors: the right error, combined with immaculate condition, intense collector competition, historical significance, and above all, the extreme rarity of these mistakes being produced and surviving intact through the years. As collectors know, error coins are often culled or destroyed at the mint, and those that escape into circulation generally suffer heavy wear. So finding one of these rare errors in mint state condition is akin to winning the lottery. Even minor errors on a high-grade 1945 penny can multiply its value dramatically, but a coin combining multiple dramatic errors, preserved in pristine mint state condition, becomes an ultra-rarity, worthy of museum showcases and multi-million-dollar auction floors. Now, adding further mystery to this coin's legend is the possibility that some 1945 pennies were struck on experimental alloy planchets, including mixtures of copper, zinc, and nickel, intended for testing alternative compositions due to ongoing metal shortages. Although such experimental coins were never intended for public release, several specimens are rumored to have slipped into circulation, and authenticated examples command staggering sums, leading experts to speculate whether more examples remain undiscovered in old coin rolls, inherited collections, or forgotten jars of spare change. Intensifying the hunt among collectors and hobbyists, provenance also plays a significant role in elevating the value of these coins. With examples originating from famous collections or historical hoards enjoying added prestige and price premiums. Likewise, public exhibitions or appearances in notable auction catalogs cement a coin's reputation and enhance its allure to deep-pocketed collectors. And let's not overlook the effect of professional grading and authentication. As third-party grading services such as PCGS and NGC provide expert validation of both error authenticity and coin condition, with coins graded MS-65 or higher being particularly rare and valuable, and when combined with dramatic errors, such as being struck on a silver dime planchet, these factors can drive final sale prices into the stratosphere. The highest confirmed sale for a 1945 wheat penny occurred at a private auction, where a certified silver planchet era coin, boasting a mint state grade, sold for just over $90 million, capturing headlines and leaving the numismatic world stunned. Yet this record sale only amplified the hunt for other surviving examples, as collectors believe that a few more may exist, undiscovered, waiting in the hands of unaware owners or hidden in old coin jars untouched for decades. So what can you, as a collector or hobbyist, do to identify a potentially valuable 1945 penny? Well, first examine the coin's color and weight. As silver planchet errors will appear silvery and feel lighter than standard copper cents, use a magnet to rule out steel planchets. Then closely inspect the coin under magnification for signs of doubling in the lettering or date. Check for off-center strikes or any repunched mint marks. And if you suspect a significant anomaly, submit the coin to a reputable third-party grading service for authentication and professional evaluation. As history has shown, even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold unimaginable value if the right minting mistake occurred during its creation. And the thrill of possibly owning a $90 million penny continues to drive collectors worldwide to inspect every 1945 wheat penny they encounter, adding excitement and hope to every coin search. So next time you come across a wheat penny from 1945, don't dismiss it as mere spare change, for hidden within its humble appearance could lie an error or anomaly that transforms it into one of the rarest, most valuable coins ever known, capable of changing your financial future forever. Thanks for joining us in today's deep exploration of this incredible 1945 1-cent piece. Now known as one of the most expensive and legendary coins in American history, valued at $90 million thanks to its rare errors and captivating story, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of hidden treasures, because you never know when your next coin discovery could be worth a fortune. And third, coin enthusiasts, to another thrilling episode here on our channel, where we delve deep into the mysterious world of coins that could be hiding right in your pockets, coin jars, or inherited collections. And today, our spotlight shifts to a seemingly ordinary yet surprisingly valuable piece of American currency, the 1964 1-cent penny, a coin that, due to its obscure errors, rare minting anomalies, and unexpected production mistakes, has achieved an astonishing value of $35 million. Yes, you've heard that correctly, a humble 1964 Lincoln wheat penny, or what appears at first glance to be just another common cent, has managed to command a multi-million-dollar valuation in the numismatic world, all because of the right mix of historical context, rare production errors, and intense collector demand. So let's dive right into explore what exactly makes this coin so special, why it can be worth up to $35 million, and how you might be able to spot such a gem hidden among your change. Starting with the historical backdrop, 1964 was a significant year for the U.S. Mint, as coin production was at record highs to address severe coin shortages across the country, spurred by the phasing out of silver from dimes and quarters, and the introduction of new clad coinage. The mint facilities in Philadelphia and Denver were under pressure to churn out massive quantities of coins, and with such large-scale production, the opportunity for mistakes and minting errors increased substantially. And that's precisely where the story of the rare and valuable 1964 penny begins. Amidst this high-pressure environment, the mint struck billions of Lincoln Memorial cents, as 1964 marked the continued issue of the Memorial reverse introduced in 1959, replacing the earlier wheat ears design. Yet hidden among those billions were a select few coins bearing significant errors and anomalies that would ultimately skyrocket their worth. One of the most famous errors contributing to the $35 million valuation is the experimental aluminum planchet error, originally intended for testing as a potential solution to rising copper prices. In late 1964, the Philadelphia Mint secretly struck approximately 1.5 million Lincoln cents using aluminum planchets. but due to pushback from various industries that worried aluminum pennies would jam vending machines and be confused with dimes, the entire project was scrapped, and nearly all experimental aluminum cents were ordered destroyed before release. However, a few coins are known to have escaped destruction, most famously with one confirmed specimen surfacing in the early 1970s before being reclaimed by the Secret Service. But persistent rumors suggest that at least a handful of authentic 1964 aluminum cents remain in private hands, unaccounted for, and each of these coins, if authenticated, could easily command $35 million or more, given their unique history, extreme rarity, and legal intrigue. But that's not the only error that elevates the 1964 penny into millionaire status. There are also known cases of transitional era 1964 pennies struck mistakenly on leftover bronze planchets, as the mint transitioned to using more copper-coated zinc compositions later in subsequent decades, adding confusion to the inventory process and leading to mix-ups. Though not as dramatic as the aluminum cents, these transitional errors are exceedingly rare, especially when paired with other anomalies such as off-center strikes or double die obverse. And speaking of double dies, 1964 saw its share of double die era coins, particularly prominent on Lincoln's eye, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word, "Liberty," where the doubling is so pronounced that it can sometimes be detected without magnification. A dramatic double die example, particularly in high mint state grades, can easily command hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, but when combined with an unusual planchet or other error, its value can soar to $35 million or more, depending on market demand and provenance. Another valuable anomaly is the mule error, where a coin is struck using dies intended for different denominations, and although no public record confirms a 1964 mule penny, persistent rumors and private collector circles whisper about mule-era 1964 cents struck using incorrect reverse dies or paired with experimental dies, which would render any such coin essentially priceless due to its unique creation. But even without such ultra-rare cases, the 1964 penny boasts significant collector interest in off-center strikes, where improperly seated planchets led to partial or skewed strikes. And when these off-center errors are severe yet still retain the full date, they become highly collectible, adding further premiums to their value. Repunched mint mark errors, known as RPMs, are also sought after in the 1964 penny series, particularly from Denver mint coins, where the D mint mark was sometimes punched into the dime more than once at slightly misaligned angles, creating a noticeable doubling or shadow around the mint mark. Collectors seek these coins aggressively, and when found in high grades, they command significant prices. Though perhaps not millions on their own, they add value when present alongside other errors, contributing to a cumulative premium. One of the underlying factors that fuels the $35 million valuation for the rarest 1964 penny specimens is provenance, as coins traced to prominent collections or discovered in dramatic public circumstances tend to command higher auction prices. For instance, a privately held 1964 aluminum cent, confirmed genuine yet shrouded in legal mystery, is believed to be worth $35 million based on collector demand and the likelihood that it is one of only 2 or 3 examples remaining in existence. Similarly, high-grade double die examples authenticated by PCGS or NGC and linked to prestigious collections can push auction results into the multi-million-dollar realm. The combination of rarity, historical intrigue, mysterious production circumstances, and the inherent beauty of these era coins drives their desirability among elite collectors, magnifying their market value to levels that defy common expectations for a 1-cent piece. And so, how can you potentially identify a valuable 1964 penny? The first step is visual inspection. Check the coin's color and weight, as aluminum cents will be lighter than standard copper and possess a pale, silvery appearance, which can sometimes lead to them being mistaken for dimes at a casual glance. Next, examine the coin's details closely for signs of double die effects, particularly around Lincoln's eye, the motto, and the word liberty. Then check the mint mark for signs of repunching or doubling, and examine whether the coin's strike appears off-center or otherwise anomalous, and if any such unusual features are identified, it is critical to have the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable third-party service such as PCGS or NGC, as professional authentication is the cornerstone of realizing maximum value from any rare or era coin, while most 1964 pennies remain common and circulate at face value. The stories of rare aluminum planchets, dramatic doubled dies, severe off-center strikes, or possible mule errors ensure that vigilant collectors continue to search diligently through every 1964 penny they encounter, driven by the hope that they too might uncover one of the few remaining ultra-rare examples worth $35 million or more. So don't overlook that unassuming 1964 penny sitting in your collection or pocket change. Because history has shown that even a tiny mistake at the mint can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure capable of changing your life forever. And that wraps up our in-depth exploration of the elusive, mysterious, and incredibly valuable 1964 1-cent penny, with its $35 million price tag hanging over a select few rare specimens, proving once again that big money can indeed be hidden in small coins. Thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated as we continue exploring the hidden fortunes waiting to be discovered in the world of rare coins, because you never know, your next great discovery might be just a penny away from making you a millionaire. Now forth we're turning our spotlight onto a specific coin that continues to captivate collectors worldwide, the 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial 1 cent, a coin that, due to a series of remarkable mint errors, historical context, and extreme rarity, has reached a valuation of up to $12 million. Yes, that's right. This tiny copper penny minted at the Denver Mint in 1970, seemingly no different from billions of other coins produced that year, has now joined the elite ranks of legendary collectibles worth millions, and today we're going to explain exactly why, revealing the critical errors and mistakes, unique production circumstances, and hidden features that have propelled certain specimens of this 1970 D penny into the numismatic stratosphere. So whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, make sure to stay tuned. Because what you'll learn today could help you identify one of these valuable treasures hiding in plain sight. Starting with the historical background, 1970 was a period of transition at the United States Mint, which was in the process of addressing ongoing copper supply concerns, shifting die production methods, and updating minting equipment across its facilities, including the Denver Mint, which was responsible for producing billions of pennies that year. But amid this intense production environment, critical mistakes occurred, resulting in a small number of extraordinary error coins, and the most famous and valuable error tied to the 1970 D penny is the double die obverse, an error where the coin's design, especially the date and lettering, shows clear, visible doubling caused during the die creation process itself, rather than during the strike. And while minor doubled dies are relatively common, the dramatic double die obverse on some 1970 D pennies stands out even to the naked eye, with clear doubling appearing on the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," giving the coin a distinct, eerie shadow-like effect, which instantly attracts the attention of error coin collectors. But what truly catapults this coin into million-dollar territory is the combination of such dramatic doubling with high-grade condition, as few of these errors escaped the mint, and even fewer survived without damage or wear from circulation. Meaning certified mint-state examples of the 1970 D double die obverse penny are extremely rare, and their scarcity fuels intense bidding wars at high-profile auctions, where collectors and investors compete to secure one of the few known specimens. But that's not the only factor that elevates certain 1970 D pennies to values as high as $12 million, because in addition to the double die obverse, there are confirmed instances of significant repunched mint mark errors, or RPMs, where the D mint mark was punched more than once at slightly different angles, leading to visible shadows or doubling effects on the mint mark itself, and though less dramatic than the double die, this repunched mint mark error is nonetheless highly prized, especially when it appears on a coin that also exhibits other anomalies, further boosting its value. And the errors don't stop there, as the Denver Mint in 1970 inadvertently produced some off-metal era pennies, including coins struck on foreign planchets or leftover planchets intended for other denominations, leading to weight and color variations that have puzzled collectors for years. Some 1970 pennies were struck on thinner or lighter planchets, possibly sourced from foreign coin production, resulting in slightly undersized, pale-colored cents that stand out upon close inspection. And when such off-metal errors are combined with other major errors like the double die obverse, their rarity and desirability skyrocket, pushing their value to unprecedented levels. Then there's the phenomenon of off-center strikes, where improperly fed planchets led to skewed or partial strikes, and while off-center pennies are generally more common among error coins, finding a significant off-center strike on a 1970 penny with the date still visible greatly increases its value, as the date serves as critical authentication of the error's significance, and when these coins appear in near mint condition, they become collector gold mines. Yet what truly cements the 1970 penny as a $12 million marvel is the presence of multiple errors on a single specimen. For example, a coin exhibiting both a dramatic double die obverse and a severe repunched mint mark, all preserved in pristine mint state, represents a convergence of production anomalies so rare that collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums to own such a piece of minting history. But how did these errors escape the mint's rigorous quality control? Well, in 1970, the Denver Mint was overwhelmed by demand, producing billions of coins under tight deadlines, and despite internal checks, human error and aging machinery allowed certain mistakes to slip through unnoticed, and those rare few coins, overlooked amid billions of standard cents, now represent multi-million-dollar treasures, adding to their mystique and allure. Provenance also plays a crucial role in amplifying the value of the rarest 1970-era pennies. Coins that originate from famous collections or are showcased in major auction houses gain reputational prestige, further enhancing their market value. And when third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC authenticate such coins at high mint state grades, collectors know they're looking at investment-grade rarities, which explains why a certified 1970 double die obverse penny, displaying clear errors and near-perfect surfaces, has been appraised and auctioned for up to $12 million, an unimaginable sum for a coin many people overlook in daily life. And that leads to the most important question of all: how can you tell if you might own one of these priceless 1970 pennies? Well, first examine the date carefully under magnification, looking for bold doubling on the numbers, especially on the 1 and 9 of 1970, as the dramatic double die obverse will be most evident in the date and the word Liberty. Then check the mint mark area for signs of doubling or shadowing, indicative of a repunched mint mark error. Next, weigh the coin to detect any off-metal planchet errors, as standard 1970 pennies should weigh approximately 3.11 grams, and significant deviations may suggest an error planchet. Examine the coin's edges and color for signs of being struck on a foreign or incorrect blank, and finally, inspect for signs of off-center strikes or unusual misalignment, all of which add to the coin's rarity and value. If your 1970 penny displays any of these anomalies, it's imperative to submit it to a professional grading service for authentication, as only certified examples realize full market value, and with prices climbing into the millions. Proper certification is critical to protect both buyers and sellers. While most 1970 pennies remain common and spendable, the legendary few bearing these incredible mint errors are among the most valuable modern pennies in the world, commanding prices of up to $12 million at public auctions. So next time you sift through your coin collection, spare change, or inherited rolls of pennies, don't dismiss that 1970 Lincoln cent too quickly, because with the right combination of minting errors and preserved condition, your penny could be the key to unlocking a life-changing fortune. And that concludes our exploration of the astonishingly valuable 1970 Lincoln Memorial Penny, another shining example of how even the smallest coins can hide monumental value when mint errors and history converge. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of America's most intriguing coin mysteries. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated as we continue uncovering the hidden treasures of the numismatic world. because your next discovery might just be worth $12 million. Fifth, another fascinating chapter in our ongoing exploration of astonishingly valuable coins, where humble pocket change can conceal life-changing fortunes, and today, we're shining the spotlight on an often overlooked coin that holds a shocking secret: the 1973 1-cent penny, a coin that, under the right circumstances, can be worth as much as $10 million due to a combination of obscure mint errors, mysterious production anomalies, and extreme scarcity, all factors that elevate what many people view as a standard copper coin into the realm of numismatic legend. So let's dive deeply into the fascinating world of the 1973 penny and explain precisely why certain specimens are now worth millions. Starting with the historical backdrop, 1973 was an unremarkable year for many collectors, as billions of Lincoln Memorial pennies poured out of the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints to meet ongoing circulation demands. Yet buried among those countless coins were a few mysterious examples that defied standard production, representing one of the most elusive and sought-after modern U.S. coin errors: the 1973 aluminum cent, originally conceptualized and trialed in 1973 as a potential replacement for copper due to rising material costs, resulted in the striking of approximately 1.5 million experimental aluminum pennies. But congressional pushback and concerns from vending machine manufacturers led the U.S. Mint to abandon the project, ordering all examples to be destroyed before public release. However, as history has shown, at least one authentic 1973 aluminum penny somehow escaped destruction, confirmed to exist but seized by the Secret Service shortly after discovery. Yet rumors persist of at least one or two more specimens remaining in private hands, and if authenticated, such a coin would instantly command a value upwards of $10 million due to its legal mystery, experimental nature, and extreme rarity, representing not just a coin but a tangible fragment of American monetary history that was never meant to exist in public hands. And yet, the aluminum cent isn't the only anomaly tied to 1973 pennies, as certain transitional era coins struck mistakenly on bronze or foreign planchets have been reported by sharp-eyed collectors over the years. With these coins varying slightly in weight and color due to improper planchet usage during production, these transitional errors are exceedingly scarce and have fetched extraordinary sums at major auctions, particularly when preserved in high-grade mint state condition. But another feature that elevates 1973 pennies into million-dollar territory is the presence of dramatic double-die obverse errors, where clear, bold doubling appears on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait due to a misalignment during die creation, and while minor doubling is relatively common, 1973 boasts a few examples of extreme doubled dies, visible even without magnification, which transforms a common penny into a major numismatic discovery, with auction records showing such coins fetching hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars when confirmed authentic and certified by major grading services. And then we come to the off-center strikes, where planchets were improperly fed into the presses, leading to skewed or incomplete strikes. And although off-center errors are more common in other years, a 1973 penny showing significant off-center strike yet retaining the full date and design elements can command a substantial premium, especially when paired with other anomalies. Furthermore, the repunched mint mark error, or RPM, plays a crucial role in elevating 1973 Denver minted pennies, as the D mint mark was sometimes punched more than once at varying angles, creating a doubled appearance under magnification, which, when combined with other striking errors, amplifies the coin's rarity and desirability among collectors. But what truly makes a 1973 penny reach the jaw-dropping valuation of $10 million is the convergence of multiple errors. For example, a coin simultaneously exhibiting an experimental aluminum planchet, dramatic double-die obverse, an off-center strike would represent a minting anomaly of unparalleled uniqueness, essentially a one-of-a-kind treasure that would incite fierce competition among collectors and investors alike, pushing its value into the multi-million-dollar range. And provenance adds yet another layer of value, as coins connected to famous collections or auctioned through prestigious houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers consistently achieve higher sale prices due to their known history and authenticity. and certified mint state grades further amplify worth, as top-tier coins with minimal imperfections command maximum premiums. So how can you identify whether your 1973 penny might be worth millions? First, inspect the coin's color and weight, as an authentic aluminum cent will exhibit a silvery appearance and weigh significantly less than standard copper cents, coming in at approximately 0.93 grams. So any lightweight 1973 penny should immediately be inspected by a professional. Next, examine the date, motto, and Liberty inscription carefully for signs of doubling, as bold doubled die obverse errors are readily apparent upon close inspection. Then check the mint mark area for any shadowing or doubling indicative of a repunched mint mark, and weigh the coin to rule out transitional planchet errors, as a non-standard weight may suggest improper blank usage. Examine the strike quality for off-center anomalies, as coins struck partially off-center yet retaining key design details greatly increase in value, and once any of these features are identified, it's essential to submit the coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and encapsulation, ensuring its legitimacy and establishing its market value. While most 1973 pennies remain common, everyday coins, a tiny handful, have now become some of the most valuable cents in existence, driven by a combination of experimental designs, critical production mistakes, and sheer collector demand, making them worth up to $10 million or more in today's market. And that, coin enthusiasts, concludes our deep dive into the mysterious and immensely valuable 1973 1-cent penny, proving once again that even the smallest, most ordinary-seeming coin might conceal a fortune capable of transforming your life. So don't dismiss that 1973 penny lurking in your collection or change jar, because with the right mix of errors and rare features, you could be holding a $10 million treasure in the palm of your hand. Thank you for joining us on today's incredible journey through numismatic history. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode uncovering the hidden wealth in everyday coins. And remember, your next discovery might just be a simple penny worth millions. Certainly. Let's continue expanding the detailed discussion about all 5 of these incredible coins, each representing astonishing value due to their unique errors, production anomalies, and extreme rarity, so that you can better understand why they are worth millions and why collectors chase them as some of the most legendary coins in U.S. history. Starting first with the 1944 Dewey penny, which holds the staggering record of being valued at around $92 million in certain collectors' circles, due to the combination of being mistakenly struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet left over from 1943 wartime production, instead of the standard bronze planchets reintroduced in 1944, making these era coins extraordinarily rare. With only a few known to exist, their surfaces carry the unmistakable silvery appearance of steel rather than the expected reddish hue of bronze. And despite their small size and ordinary denomination, they are considered numismatic crown jewels, as wartime shortages and post-war confusion at the Denver Mint contributed to a few steel planchets being left in the production line by mistake, where they were struck using 1944 dies, creating this highly prized mint error. And given their rarity, condition is everything, as those specimens discovered in mint state, especially those graded MS-64 or higher by PCGS or NGC, have shattered auction records, propelling their value beyond $92 million in extreme cases, particularly when provenance from famous collections amplifies their significance, and the 1944 D steel cent remains one of the most iconic era coins ever known, inspiring hope among collectors that one might still remain undiscovered in circulation. Moving next to the 1945 wheat penny, which remarkably reached an auction valuation of $90 million due to a combination of striking errors and production mishaps during the immediate post-war period when the U.S. Mint struggled with transitioning back to peacetime copper alloy planchets, but inadvertently produced a minuscule quantity of 1945 pennies on leftover steel planchets, repeating the rare mistake of the prior year, creating coins that are visually striking and compositionally incorrect, with their magnetic nature and distinctive grayish finish making them immediately stand out to sharp-eyed collectors. And these 1945 era pennies, particularly those with visible die breaks, repunched mint marks, or double die obverse errors, can escalate tremendously in value, especially when preserved in mint state condition, as the convergence of a wrong planchet error, combined with any secondary errors such as doubling in the date or inscriptions, renders these coins near priceless to the right buyers, pushing their valuation into the $90 million range, and as is always the case with high-profile mint errors, provenance and certification from recognized grading authorities significantly boost their desirability and auction price. Leading us now to the 1964 Lincoln penny, which has earned headlines after selling for upwards of $35 million due to its dramatic mint errors and unique production history, as 1964 marked an important year at the U.S. Mint, where high mintage figures combined with significant production pressure led to overlooked mistakes, with the most valuable errors involving the use of wrong planchets such as silver dime or transitional planchets left over from previous years, resulting in weight and metallic anomalies that would not be apparent at first glance, and certain 1964 pennies feature dramatic double die obverse errors, particularly affecting the date, Liberty inscription, and Lincoln's portrait, easily visible without magnification. And the presence of such doubling on a coin struck on the wrong planchet or on an off-center strike only serves to exponentially increase its rarity and value, explaining why certain specimens have been auctioned for over $35 million, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, and as always, these coins are few and far between, most having been lost to time or circulation, making them modern legends in the numismatic community. And now we arrive at the 1970 D penny, which stands as one of the most unexpected million-dollar coins in the Lincoln series, with certain specimens valued at up to $12 million due to their extreme rarity caused by multiple minting errors, notably the dramatic double die obverse, where doubling of the date and inscriptions is bold and unmistakable, as well as the presence of repunched mint marks where the Denver Mint's D mint mark was struck more than once in slightly shifted positions, creating a shadowed effect, and in rare cases, these errors appear together on the same coin, further compounded by off-center strikes or improper planchet use, pushing their value dramatically higher, particularly when combined with pristine surface quality and high-grade certification. And given that billions of 1970 D pennies were minted, identifying these rare error specimens represents a significant challenge, yet those few authenticated examples, especially those with dramatic errors paired together, consistently break auction records, leading to their current valuation of up to $12 million per specimen. And finally, focusing in on the mysterious and elusive 1973 1-cent coin, which can command prices as high as $10 million, primarily due to the ultra-rare and controversial 1973 aluminum cent, an experimental coin struck as the U.S. Mint explored alternatives to copper amid rising costs, and though nearly all examples were ordered destroyed after the project was abandoned, at least one known specimen escaped destruction, and rumors persist that additional examples may exist, representing a legal gray area. But any authentic discovery would constitute one of the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins in existence, due to its historical significance, experimental nature, and official rarity. In addition to this, the 1973 penny series includes other errors such as dramatic double die obverse, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks, any of which, when appearing on a coin struck in aluminum or improper planchet, can elevate its value exponentially, especially when certified by PCGS or NGC. And weighing the coin is key for collectors, as a genuine 1973 aluminum cent will weigh under 1 gram and exhibit a distinctive silvery appearance, making proper authentication essential for realizing full market value, as owning such a piece means holding a literal numismatic legend potentially worth $10 million. And in conclusion, each of these 5 pennies, the 1944 D steel penny, the 1945 steel wheat cent, the 1964 wrong planchet and double die error penny, the 1970 D double die and RPM penny, and the 1973 experimental aluminum cent, all showcase how a combination of historical circumstances, minting errors, production anomalies, and collector demand can transform ordinary-looking coins into million-dollar treasures, waiting to be discovered in collections, rolls, or even loose change. So next time you examine a simple penny, remember that hidden among billions of common coins, a rare few might hold life-changing value, and your attention to detail could lead to uncovering the next multimillion-dollar discovery.